Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
Know your lanes and what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, like we while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the tulio. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no your lanes and what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Let me see what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the combo.
Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Diva Divine Light. I hope everybody's chilling and having a great day. I just wanted for everyone to listen to this read about the dark psychology of people and how you can try to get away from that, as well as how you can influence someone by manipulation. And using manipulation to control someone's mind. Mind control is a very, very powerful thing. And I need people to really understand that. So I'm not a psychologist, but I figured I'd drop this in your lap so you guys can understand it, for all of those out there who don't really understand brainwashing and mind control and psychological and, mental abuse. And I wanted to say hello to everyone once again. Hello to all my loves in the building. As you can see, this is a pre-recorded live. So more than likely, I will be in the chat with you guys, watching and listening and getting your comments. If I can't be here, I apologize. But I'm here with you guys in spirit. Okay. And please make sure you hit the like button on your way in or on your way out, or you can do it right now. It takes nothing but 2 seconds to do it. Jump out the chat, hit the like button, jump back in the chat. 2 seconds, that's all, and it's free. And if you guys would like to join my members only club of the Badass Divas, it's $1.99 a month. You get little perks as far as emojis, stickers. You can post them in the chat. You can post them in the comments section of the video. And you also get badges every month as you go month to month, within a certain amount of months, up to like a year or two, you get badges by your names. And in the membership, in the members group, we will always have exclusives there and private sessions and private commentary. So if you guys get a chance, please join my membership club. And I believe like last week I put a video down there for you guys to check out. I had a very deep conversation with someone and I posted that conversation. So if you would like to find out more, because it's a very hush video. So if you guys would like to find out more, just join the club. It's $1.99 a month. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me always. And if you would like to donate to the channel, I have Zelle, I have Cash App, and I have PayPal. You can also super chat or send me a super sticker in the chat here. Donations are appreciated. It's just that, a donation. It's not mandatory. I appreciate the support and love that you guys give to me. And let's get started here. So, the name of the book is called Dark Psychology. And as I said, it's to teach you to influence anyone using mind control, manipulation, and deception. Okay, and it talks about secret techniques of dark persuasion and also undetected mind control, mind games, hypnotism, and brainwashing. And this book was written by Adam Brown, and it is narrated by Nick Dole. So I hope you guys enjoy the book. Listen, observe, absorb, learn, take it all in, and have a good understanding. Like I said, I'm no psychologist, but I'm trying to drop some knowledge for all of us to understand and learn. And once again, hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to everybody who's just coming in. This is a pre-recorded live. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll be in the chat with y'all. If you would like to leave your comments below at the end of the video, please do so. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell on the side. Put it on all so you can get all my streaming, my lives, everything I post to YouTube, you will be alerted for. And let's begin.
Chapter 1. What makes manipulators so effective? Psychological manipulation refers to the form of social influence that targets to change the perception or behavior of other people through underhanded, abusive, or deceptive techniques. Manipulators often advance their interests through these methods and at the expense of others. Simon, a psychology author, said that psychological manipulation can be successfully carried out when the manipulators conceal their aggressive behaviors and intentions. Learn about the vulnerabilities of their victims to identify which techniques they can use on them, and possess a level of ruthlessness that lets them cause harm to their victims without feeling any guilt or remorse. Manipulators often use covert, aggressive means to get what they want. According to Harriet Breaker, author of Who's Pulling Your Strings, there are certain techniques that manipulators use to take control of their victims. They use positive reinforcement, such as praise, excessive apologizing, approval, money, attention, public recognition, superficial charm, and superficial sympathy. They also smile and force laughter. Conversely, They may use negative reinforcement such as removing their victims from negative situations as forms of rewards. For example, they may tell their victims that they do not have to do a difficult chore if they allow the manipulators to do something to them. Manipulators also often use partial or intermittent reinforcement. Partial or intermittent negative reinforcement creates doubts and fears, while partial or intermittent positive reinforcement encourages the victims to persist. In addition, manipulators may use punishment such as yelling, intimidation, silent treatment, nagging, emotional blackmail, swearing, threats, sulking, guilt trip, playing the role of the victim, and crying. They may also show explosive anger, verbal abuse, and other intimidating behaviors to establish their superiority or dominance over their victims. Simon added lying by commission, lying by omission, denial, minimization, rationalization, selective attention or selective inattention, diversion, evasion, covert intimidation, shaming, vilifying the victim, playing the role of the servant or victim, seduction, projecting blame, feigning innocence, feigning confusion, brandishing anger, and the bandwagon effect to the tactics that manipulators use to control their victims. Both authors also said that manipulators typically exploit the vulnerabilities of their victims. More often than not, the people who become victims are the ones who have a strong desire to please and be accepted by others. They may also have a fear of expressing any emotion that may be regarded as a negative by others. These emotions include anger and frustration. Those who often become victims also tend to lack assertiveness, self-reliance, self-control, self-confidence, and a sense of identity. They may also be naive or unable to accept the fact that some people can be ruthless, cunning, or devious. They may even be in denial of the possibility that they are being manipulated. They may not be mature enough to make reasonable decisions. They may also be overly conscientious or too open to giving manipulators the benefit of the doubt. Some victims also tend to be too trusting and impressionable. They would believe anything they are told. There are also those who are lonely and crave for love or attention, so they easily accept anyone who seems to offer them what they need. Old people also typically become victims due to their limitations. Moreover, victims may overly intellectualize or try too hard to believe that manipulators have reasons for their actions. They may also be too empathetic, frugal, narcissistic, greedy, or materialistic. Those who have masochistic traits or lack self-respect also often become victims because they believe that they deserve the bad things that happen to them. What else makes manipulators so effective? Manipulators usually take time to study their victims and learn about their vulnerabilities and personalities. Aside from their efforts, manipulators also become highly effective due to their innate qualities or characteristics that they have. Every person has a Machiavellian tendency or a potential to exhibit duplicitous behaviors. Those who are low mocks are regarded as normal. They prefer not to manipulate and deceive, except in cases wherein they believe that such behavior is necessary. Those who are high mocks, on the other hand, are more prone to deceiving and manipulating others. They often engage in calculating, conniving, and cunning behavior. Machiavellianism also tends to be hereditary. It is something that is innate in an individual. It can also be worsened or aggravated by one's environment, including the way his family, friends, and social network behave or treat him. Personality disorders are another reason why manipulators become highly effective. These disorders do not lead to Machiavellian tendencies. However, they can lead to depression, panic, anxiety, disassociation, euphoria, mania, and other moods. These, in turn, can trigger a person's Machiavellian personality. That said, below is a list of personality disorders which are often present in master manipulators. Antisocial personality disorder. People who have this personality disorder tend to be conniving, calculating, and cunning. They usually manipulate people, especially those whom they perceive to be enemies, by keeping them close. They pretend to be their friends so they can learn about their vulnerabilities and exploit them later. Borderline personality disorder. It is characterized by a fluctuating, fragile self-image as well as a deep fear of abandonment. Those who have this personality disorder often exhibit controlling behaviors that can range from ingratiating or subtle to violent and threatening. Bipolar disorder. Those who have this disorder tend to become hypersexual and or hypermotivated during manic episodes. They also tend to be oblivious to obvious risks. In addition, they may switch up their Machiavellian tendencies to high so that they can gain cooperation from others or overcome other people's objections. Obsessive-Compulsive personality disorder. This should not be confused with OCD or obsessive-compulsive disorder. People who have obsessive-compulsive personality disorder are often stickler for perfection, inexorably controlling, and rigid in their thinking. They usually manipulate others by micromanaging them and controlling their actions to gain compliance. Is it too late for master manipulators to change their ways? Master manipulators, or high mocks, can still improve themselves through therapy. However, they need to realize that they are deceitful and their actions are destructive. They should also be willing to go through therapy. They should be willing to change their ways and not try to justify or rationalize their behavior.
And that's exactly what R. Kelly has put all his people through. This is why he is going through the things he is going through. Because he uses mind control, manipulation. He's a narcissist. He has a personality disorder. He's bipolar. He's narcissistic. He's a sex addict. He's hypersexual. And you see how it said, he can go through therapy. He can change. He can. He's got to get the proper treatment. And he's got to want to do it. And he's got to want to admit that he was wrong and that he harmed people. And that it's his fault that a lot of things have happened to him. Other people are to blame as well. The blame doesn't all fall on R. Kelly. But R. Kelly is the one who was the mastermind behind everything. Let's continue.
Chapter 2. Does mind control and brainwashing really work? You have probably heard of someone being scammed through mind control or brainwashing. You may have also seen characters on TV being brainwashed to perform actions that make them cause mayhem. However, are these things real? Do they actually work? The answer to both of these questions is yes. Mind control and brainwashing exist, and they work. However, they may not be as exaggerated as the ones portrayed on television and in the movies. Those who have been brainwashed may not appear to be in trance as they engage in destructive behavior. Mind control and brainwashing are actually present in your day-to-day life. You may not realize it, but you are actually being brainwashed by advertisements, social media, and news reports, among others. For example, companies show ads to prompt customers to purchase their products. How mind control and brainwashing works. Brainwashing, which is also known as thought reform, is a severe form of social influence. It aims to control thoughts and actions. It combines the compliance, persuasion, and education methods to bring about changes in other people's way of thinking without their consent. The compliance method is used to change people's behaviors regardless of their beliefs or attitudes. Manipulators want their victims to just do whatever they say, no matter what it takes. The persuasion method is used to make victims change their attitude by making them believe that they will gain something from it. Manipulators tell their victims that they will be successful, healthy, or happy if they obey what they say, regardless of whether it is true or not. The education method is also known as the propaganda method. It aims to make people change their beliefs by making them believe that it is the right thing to do. The manipulators who use this method are often associated with politics or religious organizations. How serious is brainwashing? Brainwashing is truly invasive. Thus, it requires a total dependency and isolation of its target. In cults, for example, leaders require their members to avoid any form of contact with the outside world. In order for brainwashing to work, the brainwasher or the agent should have total control over the victim or target. Everything about the target, including his eating and sleeping habits, should be completely dependent on the will of the brainwasher. Throughout the process of brainwashing, the brainwasher breaks down the identity of the target in a systematic manner. Then, he replaces it with a new set of beliefs, behaviors, and attitudes that work for him. So, is it too late for the victim to go back to his normal self? No, it is not. According to experts, the victim can still go back to his old self. He can still regain his old beliefs and attitudes if his new identity stops getting reinforced. Brainwashing does not eradicate a person's old identity, it simply hides it beneath a new one. Mind control, brainwashing, and the media. Everyone is constantly exposed to commercials for things to buy, politicians to vote for, services to avail, etc. Convincing people to do things has become a norm. Brainwashing or persuading people can indeed be profitable. Years ago, advertisements were limited to billboards, newspapers, and television. Today, they are all over the internet, including social media. Facebook, for example, shows users relevant advertisements based on their online activities and profiles. Researchers from Cambridge, Pennsylvania, Columbia, and Stanford recently published a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America, PNAS. They studied the effectiveness of social media advertising campaigns, specifically digital footprints and their psychological traits. If you are on social media, everything you do online may be used to evaluate your psychological profile. The things you post, like, share, and comment on can all say something about you. In the study, the researchers used Facebook likes to represent digital footprints. They focused on introversion and extroversion, which are personality traits. They studied over 25,000 users who liked certain websites and activities. Then they categorized these users as either introverts or extroverts. They also designed various beauty ads for women based on their psychological traits. They used slogans that would appeal to introverts and extroverts individually. For instance, the slogan about loving the spotlight is meant to target extroverts. When these custom ads were displayed on the screens of their target audience, the subjects will be more likely to respond to the ad. They will be more likely to buy the product being advertised. Both introverts and extroverts will buy the same product even if they saw different versions of the ad. In the study, it was said that the psychological assessment of digital footprints can be used for evil or good. Persuasion can help people lead happier and healthier lives. It can also encourage them to engage in activities that may harm them. Furthermore, it may be used to elicit information, discredit individuals, and implant suggestions, as well as other types of mental control. Chapter 3. How can you leverage NLP techniques to get what you want? Neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, refers to the form of therapy that aims to help individuals achieve their specific goals. It involves a variety of techniques that focus on the interplay of neurology, language, and programming. Neurology refers to the way the mind and body are controlled by the neurological system. Language refers to the way a person communicates with others. Programming refers to the component that is associated with the models that people depend on to create their worlds or realities. NLP also focuses on 3 behavioral patterns, namely physical, cognitive, and linguistic behaviors. It involves instructions that have been designed by experts who studied the way people think and behave. Through NLP techniques, you can replace your negative thought and behavioral patterns with positive ones. You can also use these techniques to achieve your goal and get what you want. How can you do this? Here are some tips. Stay positive. According to NLP, using positive language can help you modify your behavior. It asserts that your subconscious mind, which regulates automatic functions such as digestion and breathing, does not register negativity. Hence, if you tell yourself that you no longer want to eat junk food, all your subconscious would hear is that you want to eat junk food. If you want to make improvements in your diet, you should paraphrase your statements. Rather than say, I will no longer eat junk food, you can say, I will eat nutritious foods. This way, your subconscious will hear nutritious foods instead of junk food. It will then help you achieve that goal. In essence, you should use NLP techniques to move towards what you want rather than away from what you do not want. Target your talk. People also use NLP to process information using their visual, kinesthetic, or auditory functions. They see, feel, and hear things to determine how they will affect them. When you adapt what you say to fit other people's processing styles, you can communicate your message to them in a more efficient manner. For instance, you have to listen to someone speak so that you can identify how that person processes information. If a client, boss, or colleague says things such as, I hear the project is profitable, or, that sounds great, that person is auditory. On the other hand, if he says things such as, that is smooth, or, I feel that this business is off to a good start, then that person is kinesthetic. He is visual if he incorporates words such as see and descriptive words in his statements. You should also consider the way you present your statements. Keep in mind that visual individuals tend to think in pictures. They visualize multiple images in their heads all at once. They usually look upwards when they talk. They respond well to hand gestures, facial reactions, and other things that they can see. Auditory people prefer to receive information that is presented in a linear manner. They tend to process information thoroughly and slowly. They consider ideas one at a time. They usually look laterally to the left or right. They respond well to modulated tones. Kinesthetic people tend to trust their gut. They are good at staying focused in spite of the distractions around them. They depend on their feelings and hunches. They usually look downwards. They respond well to creative presentations. So, you should incorporate experiments and games into your conversations. Furthermore, experts say that if you want people to remember what you say, you should use the word but. They will remember whatever you said after the word but. However, they will most likely forget the first half of your sentence. Conversely, you should use the word and if you want people to remember your entire sentence. Through NLP, you can discover opportunities you have never seen before. You can achieve huge success and progress when you change the way you talk. See to it that you master the techniques to get what you want in life. Chapter 4. How cults and organizations use mind control. Cults are highly manipulative. Cult leaders usually trick their members into joining and following the cult's ways. They manipulate these members to obey their commands or get their money. They use mind control, brainwashing, and other techniques to manipulate their targets. It is important for you to know how cults and organizations operate so that you can protect yourself from them. Do not think that you are immune to their tactics. Remember that they have millions of members from all over the world. Even those who believed that they were immune were manipulated into joining a cult or deceptive organization. They were manipulated because they did not know how cults work and what techniques they use to recruit members. What you need to know about cults. First of all, you should know that most cults don't appear as they are portrayed in the media. They don't dress in the same way, they don't go around in huge groups, and they don't always live in the same compound or place. Modern cults almost appear normal and inconspicuous. You may be in the same neighborhood as their leaders and members without even knowing it. Cult leaders do not want people to suspect that they are being recruited. So, they dress, eat, act, and talk in ways that will put their targets at ease. They appear to be relatable to their victims to easily gain their trust. You should also know that cults are not merely composed of weak and emotionally unstable people. A lot of members are actually intelligent, skilled, and attractive. People from all walks of life may be recruited into cults. However, they are mostly recruited during the lowest points in their lives. It is during this time that they crave love, support, and understanding, which cult leaders claim to offer. Cult leaders present well-rehearsed speeches to gain attention and trust. They make themselves appear good by claiming to support research, help the needy, save the environment, etc. They will also tell you how successful and happy you will be once you join their group. Their existing members will convince you as well. Once you join them, you will not notice that you are being manipulated because the reality will unfold slowly. Rather than see the truth and leave, you will eventually believe everything that is said to you. Furthermore, cults are not limited to religious groups. Modern cults typically include organizations that use devious recruiting tactics and mind control to get what they want from their members. These organizations may be religious, political, commercial, self-help, and counseling in nature. The different types of cults. Religious cults have belief systems that they impose on their members. Some of the most popular religious groups include Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. It is not really the belief or religion that creates a cult, but rather the desire of those involved to deceive and manipulate. Religious organization leaders often use mind control to manipulate their members into donating money, attending services, and doing other things. They tend to guilt-trip members who do not do as they say. They also use character assassination to help create feelings of guilt. They discourage members from asking questions or being curious. They threaten to punish those who dare defy their orders. Political cults use political ideals as a base for manipulation. Popular examples of mind control for political reasons are the communist USSR and Nazi Germany. Stalin and Hitler both used mind control to get what they want. Other groups that use mind control to dominate and recruit members include rebel groups, white and black supremacists, and terrorists. Commercial cults use commercial gain as a base for manipulating people. They make promises of success and happiness if you join them. They often use mind control to manipulate their members into working for them for free. They also manipulate them into paying for various items, such as motivational books, videos, and audio tapes. They claim that these things will help you succeed, even if their sole goal is to get your money and keep you in their cult. Self-help and counseling cults often claim to offer self-improvement as their base for manipulation. They generally target corporations and businessmen. They host seminars and create courses for people who want to achieve success. They manipulate their targets by making them pay for more seminars and courses, claiming that they need to go to the next step to move closer to their dreams. The cult leaders may also ask their members to recruit their family and friends.
Wow. So, do you guys think R. Kelly really made his living situation to be out to be a cult? I think so. I sure do think so. He did have a cult. Patterns of behavior. Everyone had to follow his lead. He wouldn't pay people. He manipulated people to do things for free. Oh, yeah. Keith Raniere, right? He was a cult. He used people for money, financial gain. R. Kelly used people for his own personal gain. Let's continue.
Chapter 5. Subliminal Influencing Through Advertising and Media. The word subliminal refers to anything found beneath the threshold of the conscious mind. Subliminal messages are often embedded in other media and are meant to be subconsciously picked up by the brain. Also, subliminal techniques are usually used in advertisements to convey hidden messages. Subliminal advertising refers to the use of images or words that people cannot detect consciously. Such stimuli are usually hidden inside other images, which makes them hard to detect. They may also be presented briefly, which is why they go undetected. These stimuli are usually presented in 0.003 seconds. People are often unaware of the stimuli that they see at this short period of time. The technique of subliminal advertising injects subliminal signals that cannot be detected by the naked eye. They can also be detected by the subconscious mind. They, in turn, influence a person's subsequent actions and thoughts. To some extent, such techniques are based on illusions. Shadows, light, and visual effects are used to affect the perception of dimensions. It is possible to be influenced outside of your awareness. According to researchers, when related words are subliminally presented to people, they tend to respond towards the messages of these words. For example, when a word associated with hunger is subliminally presented to hungry individuals, they tend to eat more, regardless of whether or not they are very hungry. Not only do people become unaware of these related words, they also become unaware of the influences of these words on their actions. On the other hand, some researchers have found that the stimuli people become aware of can exert influences on their behaviors that they are not aware of. For instance, patrons of liquor stores may buy more Italian wine when they hear Italian songs played inside the stores. Even though they are able to hear the songs, they are not aware that these songs are influencing their decisions and actions. Backmasking is another technique wherein sounds are recorded backwards. When you listen to them, you may hear unintelligible sounds. Your subconscious mind, however, gets the message and causes you to take actions based on what you heard. Subliminal messages can indeed affect your state of mind as well as your behaviors. This is why you need to be alert when you watch or listen to advertisements. Aside from advertisements, subliminal messages can also be seen in movies and television shows. They are often used to introduce characters, advertise upcoming episodes, or campaign for political candidates. Chapter 6. Learn to protect yourself against being manipulated. If you are around a master manipulator, you need to separate yourself from this person as soon as possible. You should also set clear boundaries, as well as resist being drawn to his schemes. Be wary of other people trying to copy your body language. When you talk to other people, you should observe the way they behave. If you notice that they seem to mirror your behavior, they may be trying to manipulate you. When you first meet someone, refrain from making direct eye contact. Try to move your eyes randomly. This may seem strange, but it can help you avoid becoming a victim of a master manipulator. Keep in mind that manipulators often use eye contact to lock in their targets. They watch their eye movements to find out how they access and store information. Just by looking into your eyes, they can figure out which parts of your brain you use when you speak. This gives them some kind of psychic ability, making them guess correctly what you are thinking. So, in order for you to avoid becoming a victim, you should dart your eyes back and forth. Look around you, up at the ceiling, down at the floor, to your left and to your right. Do not allow anyone to touch you. As much as possible, you should not allow anyone to get too close. If you are having a discussion with someone who practices neuro-linguistic programming, you may soon be brought into a highlighted emotional state. You may start to laugh harder or get angry. As you stay in this state, the person who uses NLP touches you. This person may tap your shoulder or touch your arm. They use touch to anchor you. This makes it easier for them to bring you back into that heightened emotional state later on. You should also pay attention to the language that other people use. If the language is vague, the person may be trying to put you into a hypnotic trance. People become susceptible to a hypnotic trance when they do not have much to react to or disagree with. Specific languages tend to take people out of hypnotic trance. Similarly, you should keep an eye out for permissive languages. Pleasant words such as enjoy, relax, and welcome are often used to manipulate people into doing something they would not normally do if they are not in a hypnotic trance. Master manipulators do not command people to do something. Instead, they say things that will encourage their targets to give them permission to control them. Do not forget to read between lines. Master manipulators generally use languages with layered or hidden meanings. So, if you listen to what they say, everything may seem innocent. However, if you delve deeper into it, you will realize that it has a hidden meaning. The message may not be obvious because it was presented in a subliminal manner. Master manipulators insert their real intentions into seemingly normal and innocent statements. This is why most victims do not realize that they have become victims. They agree to things that they do not completely understand. They do not notice the hidden messages until it's too late. Watch the way you behave around other people. It can be hard to spot master manipulators at first glance. These people are good at disguising themselves. They will make you think that they are your friends and that they have your best interest at heart. They will try to gain your trust and attention. Once they spot an opportunity to manipulate you, they will use their manipulative tactics right away. For example, if you are talking to a master manipulator and you suddenly looked away, the manipulator may use this opportunity to give you subliminal messages. As you look into the distance, he may tell you something that contains keywords to what he really wants to have. If you are a writer, he may tell you about getting free write-ups and free book copies. The key word he uses is free, so when you hear his statements, this word becomes ingrained into your subconscious mind and you agree to write for him for free. Of course, if you were not caught up in this state, you would not have agreed to do any work for free. However, since the master manipulator saw that you were looking into the distance, he had the chance to use a technique to make you do what he wants. You may only realize that you have fallen into his trap after you have finished your free article, product review, or write-up. With this being said, you should be assertive and never agree to anything without giving it proper thought first. Master manipulators often pressure their victims into agreeing to do what they want. If you notice yourself being forced to make hurried decisions, you should take a pause, stop the conversation, and leave. You need to stay away from the manipulator so you can gather your thoughts. Ideally, you should spend at least 24 hours to make a decision. This is especially true if your decisions have something to do with money. Most manipulators are scammers. They are after the money of their targets. They manipulate them into making impulse purchases and subscriptions. Furthermore, you should trust your gut. Your intuition is there for a reason. So, if your gut is telling you that something is wrong, you need to trust it. There is always something off about master manipulators. You may not be able to determine it right away, but your gut will tell you to stay alert or to stay away. Even though it is not possible to eradicate all the manipulators in this world, it is possible to learn ways on how you can protect yourself against these kinds of people. Hopefully, this chapter was able to give you valuable knowledge that you can use. Conclusion. Thank you again for downloading this audio program. I hope this audiobook was able to help you learn about the dark psychology of manipulation and persuasion. More importantly, I hope this book was able to help you understand how manipulators think and behave so you can avoid them. I hope that this book was able to give you useful tips on how to successfully avoid becoming a victim. Manipulators are everywhere. They are in the streets, malls, schools, or even in your neighborhood. They seem like ordinary people. They may dress, eat, talk, and walk like you. You may even have family members and friends who are master manipulators. They are cunning, devious, and harmful. You need to stay away from them as much as possible. It is not advisable to be complacent. You should always be wary of your surroundings. You might think that you are smart enough to avoid manipulators. However, you have to remember that it is always better to stay alert and careful than to be relaxed and fall into a trap. Be observant of your surroundings. Look at the people around you. Check out the way they talk and act. Notice their facial reactions, tone of voice, and choice of words. Everything they say and do says something about them. Through this book, you have learned about the personality disorders that manipulators typically have. You have also learned about the Machiavellian tendencies of people. Moreover, you have learned about neuro-linguistic programming and how it can be used to change your life and get the results that you want. Likewise, you have learned about the way cults and organizations use mind control and brainwashing to recruit members and keep them around. You have also learned about the ways the media use manipulative tactics on viewers and consumers. With this newfound knowledge, I hope that you can avoid being in contact with cunning and devious people. In the event that you find yourself around such people, I hope that you can practice the strategies you have read on how to protect yourself and get yourself out of the situation. The next step is to apply the lessons that you have learned into your life so that you can better protect yourself against master manipulators. Finally, if you enjoyed this audiobook, then I'd like to ask you for a favor. Would you be kind enough to leave a review for this book? It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, and good luck.
Manipulation is everywhere. You will never see it coming sometimes. A lot of times. A lot of these YouTubers out here on YouTube manipulate. They give subliminal messages all the time. Those are the people you got to watch out for. The ones that give the subliminal messages. Instead of just coming straight out and just saying what they got to say, they want to give subliminal messages. I hate that shit. Just say what you got to say. Why do I have to try to figure out what the fuck you talking about? Why are you trying to confuse me? No. See, right away, can't trust people like that. Cannot. Now I can understand why R. Kelly always wears shades. He don't want nobody to look at him in his eyes. Because he wants to be able to see through you, not that you see through him. So I thought that was very interesting. So guys, watch out for the manipulators in these streets. Watch out for the manipulators, period, in this world. Your family, your friends, YouTube friends, bloggers. Watch out. There's manipulators everywhere. Somebody somehow is trying to get over on somebody, take advantage of somebody, use somebody, abuse somebody. Well, guys, make sure you leave your comments below. Please share the video. Thank you. And I am Diva Divine Light. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the notification bell when you do subscribe. Make sure you put it on all. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
No delaying for what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 milli with the dilly, yo. When I be on my yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, every while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the tulio. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more defense with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more defense with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really hard-hearted to me. Fuck these seats, what you got for me. Put more defense with my eyes to see. Still bump down in the